Hi guys, welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. Today, we're going to see if we can turn bad Shaw into good Shaw. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use a little device. I'm going to pour a little here to be our control. Just a little. Let's not get bugs in there. This is our control whiskey. It's not good. We're going to use the whiskey pump. We are going to pump Bad Shaw up. Now, what I have here is they call it a filter. Whiskey Pump calls it a filter. And it's a little piece of oak with a tiny little hole in the middle of it. And I toasted this one. As you can see, it's not pretty, brilliant white. The way they come from a whiskey pump is brilliant white, fresh, virgin oak. I toasted this one with a heat gun running about 500-600 degrees, and I just toasted it enough to get some color on it, and then I soaked this filter in a very high proof brandy, 140 something proof brandy. I don't remember the exact numbers that's inside. I didn't bring it out here. But anyway, so we're going to take the Bad Shaw and we're going to pump it through this toasted, brandy-soaked filter and see if we can make Bad Shaw into good Shaw. Now, Whiskey Pump comes in a box like this. I bought this. They did not send it to me. So my opinions are my opinions. I don't think their product works great the way it comes from the factory, but I think if you toast or char the filters, which I've done both, and I have reviews where I did that before. If I can figure out how, I'll link it up here somewhere. And but I think it works pretty well with the toasted or charred filters. I had pretty interesting results. Now this is the first time I did bourbon soaked filters, and this is the first time using brandy soaked filters. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of results we get from this. So let me go ahead and pump this bad boy in here and see what kind of a difference this makes to our young Bad Shaw whiskey. No, I did a lot. I did like 2 ounces here. I didn't mean to do quite that much. It's kind of hard to tell unless you're using a jigger. It's kind of hard to tell when you're pouring it into the whiskey pump basin. It doesn't really look like a lot, but you're getting a lot in there. So let me give myself a little bit more control whiskey here, so that we have a appreciable amount of surface area to compare. And let's see. Color wise, they look basically identical. I don't see much of a difference at all. Let's taste the original, the control whiskey first. Let's nose it first too. Sharp metallic vanilla, youthful grain notes, harsh, acrid, not much redeemable there. Okay, so let's see if our brandy soaked toasted filter made any difference whatsoever. Oh, it did. Oh, it made a big difference. This is sharp and has that metallic vanilla on the nose. This one, the sharpness is drastically reduced. Some of that fruitiness from the brandy is actually almost unbelievably showing up. I soaked that filter in brandy for 24 hours. Just put it in a little condiment cup with a lid, poured the brandy in, dropped the filter in, and just let it sit. I made sure that it was it was floating in the top, so I would flip it every so often, shake it up a little bit, and and let it really soak for 24 hours. And then it's sat for weeks since then in a little plastic baggie with a untoasted one. And surprisingly enough, I'm getting some of those brandy notes here on the nose. It still feels kind of young, but it is leaning more towards a brandy finished bourbon. It's so much more interesting to nose now, and it's so much less aggressive. It really rounded some of those edges off. I'm impressed. This is very sweet and fruity, whereas this was never going to be described that way. It's almost like if you rip open a fresh piece, like a navel orange, but you don't like puncture any of the pieces of orange. You like rip it open and that smell. The vanilla is still there. It's less metallic. It's more like real vanilla. And buttercream. Why am I getting buttercream? Like frosting. The nose is drastically better. Let's see if the taste is. Oh, that brandy comes through. This is the Dime family brandy that I used to soak that piece. Mr. Kelsey Dime sent me a chunk of it. God, I need more of that stuff so bad. Oh my God, I only have a little bit left, and I'm like not touching it, just sitting there in my cabinet because the stuff is magic. I need a full size bottle of that next time they make some more. Vanilla, fruit, cinnamon. The nose is so much better than it was. Let me taste again. It's still young. I don't want you to think that this suddenly turned into a 5-year-old whiskey. It did not. I know that Whiskey Pump says that you can double the age of a whiskey or whatever. I don't even remember what all they say. Did this make this a 4-year-old bourbon? No. Did it make it less like a 2-year-old bourbon? Yes. So, I don't know. I'm not going to split hairs and say, oh, this is a 3-year-old bourbon now. No. But it did round off those sharp, harsh edges, and it made this Badshaw into less Badshaw. I can't believe how much of the brandy is coming through. That really worked out. I'm telling you. I need to experiment a lot more with this Whiskey Pump than I have. I haven't done a bunch of them because I didn't get very many views, and so I didn't interpret that to mean that people were super interested in this. But it's interesting, and you guys should definitely check it out and play with toasting those filters and soaking them in anything. You could soak them in wine, you could soak them in brandy, you could soak them in other bourbons, you could soak them in scotch. I'm gonna do one where I soak it in like a really peaty scotch. I have some really nice Ardbegs in there and Lefroy's that I could soak it in and really put some smokiness into a bourbon. That would be interesting. I'm shocked at how much better this is. It's even better than I thought it might be. I figured it would be a little bit better, but this is significantly better than I thought it would be. Wow. It didn't solve everything. It didn't make it wonderful, but it did make it better. So, hey, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, I hope you have a great day.